I've been locked in on the YouTube game for the past 9 years now, and have made as much as $14,000 in a single month on YouTube. Recent months were a little less, but even getting $10,000 from YouTube in AdSense is amazing in just 1 month. I've generated 35 million views on YouTube in just the last 2 years, and I don't say this to boast. The issue is that there's so many people out there these days that are teaching advanced YouTube concepts that they simply don't understand, and are super generalized and are just plain wrong. They don't understand or have the data and the mistakes to fall back on, whereas I do. I know what makes an effective hook, how to actually understand your audience, and how to know what they are saying through the analytics, because it's not as simple as saying, oh, video get views, video be good. It's not as simple as that. Audience satisfaction is one of the most important things once you can understand how to hack it. You will win at YouTube. So I'm not going to just give you access to my brain and years of YouTube ideation strategies, but also access to me and a private community that is also locked in on YouTube, and at a frankly stupid price. People are telling me that it's not fair and I'm basically giving this away for free. They're saying I'm lowering the bar to enter the YouTube game and create a new and more advanced YouTube creator. Of course, I'm always up for competition. Competition forces the monopoly to be better, and I want you to also have a piece of the pie. Your entire YouTube success will boil down to 3 main pillars that you could be focused on no matter what, that are the foundation to the ultimate holy grail of YouTube, and that is the key to your future success. The first pillar is your hook. Without a good hook, your audience will leave your video in the first 30 seconds. You've got to understand how to keep your audience interested, and that's going to consist of knowing their pain points. Then you need to present that to your audience in a way that they see you can understand their frustration. This goes for faceless or face-on content. And then you need to amplify the problem so they can realize just how much of an issue it is. Then get them to question their current solutions, which will cause them to be more open to your solution, which you tease in the hook and present in the video. But the problem with the hook is that creators stop here and think they're done with their hook. The issue is that they have teased the solution that takes 2 to 3 minutes to reveal and expand on, but how do you keep your audience interested for the next 10 minutes of that YouTube video? Because YouTube likes longer content. You have to keep your audience interested for the next 7 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer, so that you also want to stop them from skipping your video and going ahead into the content, because that's why they clicked on the video in the first place. It's a strategy I reveal in my accelerator program. Now, the second pillar is your title. This pillar is the second most important behind the last one, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. And it's something that you have to get right, otherwise the content in your videos will mean nothing. Your title needs more help, and you need to understand the patterns and psychology of titles to get your audience to click. I have a massive title structure format that I've based on winning patterns on YouTube. The program goes so deep into detail to understand the click, because it's so important, and it's not as simple as, oh, me see video, me move mouse, me click kind of thing. But that's what people think, and so here are the 5 really useful title formats that really work on YouTube. Here's number 1 here. So subject, but they get increasingly more adjective. So this format works because it suggests escalation, which keeps viewers engaged. So for example, eating spicy foods, but they get increasingly hotter, creates anticipation and curiosity. You also want to see people eat spicy foods, right? I mean, you've seen the show Hot Ones. They love to see how increasingly spicy it gets, and they've been very clever in implementing stories and conversation in there that's interesting. So that's why that format really works. Number 2 is negative statement, do this instead. So this format kind of appeals to the desire for better solutions. Stop wasting money on gym memberships, do this instead. That's a great example. It immediately suggests value and improvement. Another example is I tried every subject. So this format leverages the power of comprehensive testing. So I tried every productivity app so you don't have to. So it promises a thorough explanation and saves the viewer time and effort. People don't want to spend all that time figuring out what works best, so they're going to watch a video on what does. Number 4 is the topic tier list. So often this is the fast food burger tier list. This essentially helps people engage in conversation, and maybe it's controversial because not everyone's going to agree with it, but that's why people are going to engage. And then number 5, I survive time in location. This is a classic one. You've probably seen Mr. Beast do it, Iraq as well. I survived 24 hours in the Antarctic. You know, things like that. It generates interest. But I mean, don't be stupid and die doing dumb things. because yes, the extreme is what pulls people into the video, but do it with a bit of sensibility. I've got about 10 more of these in the program, with more constantly growing and adding to that list. But that brings me to the third pillar, which is your thumbnail. Your thumbnail is so important. Knowing the rules of your thumbnail design and also your audience psychology to get them to click is the #1 most important thing behind the ultimate grail of YouTube. If you can't get your viewers to click, you might as well give up YouTube now. There's just no point. So here are a couple of examples of what types of things you need to think about when it comes to YouTube and effective thumbnail designs. So here's #1 by Ali Abdaal. He just has a thumbnail that says, "No one cares." Now this might be somewhat controversial, but it also installs fear of missing out, because you're trying to figure out what do people not care about. Now you could also generate curiosity here with just jumping straight into the middle of a conversation. As you can see in this thumbnail, it's just showing someone that he was offered $100,000 to stay silent. I mean, that's #1, a very interesting statement, and I want to figure out what it was that he should stay silent about. But #2, I'm right in the middle of a conversation. Now, you can also talk about impossible or absurd ideas. This kind of talks about desire or maybe even vicarious living. You know, when you show, it took 3 weeks to get 100K subs, like that's something people are very interested in and is something that they want to be able to do as well. Also, having a simple or unprofessional look like in this thumbnail, it's pretty simple. There's no fancy texts or overlays or anything. She looks like she's been crying. It's going to generate curiosity, but also a bit of sympathy, because she doesn't look too happy. And watch this if you feel like a failure. A lot of people do feel like that, to be honest, especially at one point in their life. Someone feels like, oh, I feel like a failure. I made a mistake. I feel really bad. I'm going to go sulk. There are a lot of rules when it comes to thumbnail design, and you don't necessarily need to be a designer to be successful. Just understand the psychology behind the click, but once you know these rules, you know when to break them. Now, once you have these 3 pillars down to a T, you can get access to the holy grail of YouTube, and that's audience satisfaction. When done right, your hook, title, and your thumbnail will get you through 80% of the struggle on YouTube. I get so many DMs and messages about people's videos not performing well, and chances are these 3 pillars are ignored or not even done well. Or maybe they even learned the wrong things from the people who thought they knew what they were doing, but they really said the wrong things. And I can be sure that you have something that you know about YouTube that you've learned that is wrong, and I'll address that in this program. I've grown channels from scratch to 15,000 subscribers with long form content in as little as a month. I've been so locked in and started to do this for clients as well, and helped them generate an extra $10,000 a week. Imagine just getting that per month, the freedom. I would say that you're stealing from me in this case, because this program would be a little over a year's subscription to Netflix. Give up the streaming content, start making an investment into your future, and get lifetime access to this program. It's too good to pass up. And if you don't get results within 90 days of putting it into practice, the training, and also the feedback, I give it all back to you. You get your money back and keep access to the program and all the future content that's added. And you also still keep access to the group coaching. Bold statement, I know. But that's how confident I am that this actually works if you apply the training that I give you, and your channel will get better results. But what's the catch? Because there's always one with something that appears too good to be true. And you're right, there is a catch, because something I normally charge thousands of dollars for with a time limit, there's no lifetime access, will have a catch. So the catch is that the deal is only available to 50 people. I can't give it to everyone simply because of how stupid it really is for me, especially from a business perspective, and I still have to deliver on the coaching and feedback. So not everyone will get into this program. So it's first come, first serve. Hurry, time is limited. It's literally running out of time as you're watching this video, and you could be making $1,000 per month within a minimum of 19 days. It's what I've seen with other clients as well. You could essentially be doubling your money within 19 days of starting this program. All right, I'll see you in the program, and I'll help accelerate you to YouTube success. Hit that button below and get started, and I'll see you in a little bit.